Welcome to Passed Out. I'm Josh.
I'm Arash.
All right. Let's start with the Street Fighter announcement.
Yeah, well, first things first, we usually say it at the end. Maybe we should say it in the beginning. Like and subscribe, please, and
Yeah,
help
like and
feed
subscribe.
us poor folk. Well, Josh isn't poor, I am. It really helped me out. Street Fighter. I don't know if he saw the full list. Let me get my phone to get the full list. Hold on. But the most notable ones so far are fucking 50 Cent as Balrog, Roman Reigns as Akuma, and Jason Momoa as Blanca.
I think that's the most interesting.
I think exactly. I think so too. Because Blanca is not really like a main character at any point in the series. He has somewhat of an interesting story. One of the few things the original movie got right was Blanca being some sort of experiment by M. Bison, which might be the route they're taking in this. And it's like Blanca's story and Ryu and Ken are somehow gonna save him, or it shows the evils of Shadaloo. But um, it's a super interesting cast so far. The guy playing Ryu, I recognize too. I just forgot which movie he's from. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that?
I'm pulling up. Yeah, let me pull it up on IMDb because I haven't just got my eyes on the cast yet.
Oh, Andrew Koji is going to be Ryu. Andrew Koji. Oh, he's 37. He's just a tad bit younger than I am.
Nice.
Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. He was in Bullet Train. See what else? He's been in a lot of like kung fu style movies.
Jason Momoa is fucking. He's really on a really unusual casting train right now, right? Like, I feel like coming out of Aquaman, he's like, okay, I'm gonna go to Netflix and we're gonna do a live action version of uh, Little Adventures, Nemo's Little Adventures in Slumberland. So he does that, which is kind of a weird role for him, and then he shows up in fucking Minecraft,
Yeah.
and now he's been recast in the DC universe as Lobo. So he's
Who's
gonna be in
Lobo again?
um he's like a fucking alien biker. Dude, look at a picture of Lobo DC real quick, and he's like it's perfect casting. I think it's a really good casting.
It looks like Slash without aviators on. Hey, Supergirl, want to ride?
So yeah, it's just like, okay, you're gonna play Lobo back to back with Blanca. Interesting.
Well, maybe it might be a contract thing with DC because Warner Brothers. No, I'm thinking Mortal Kombat. I'm way off. Yeah, this is
Who
super
owns
interesting.
who?
Capcom, but I don't know if Capcom's a part of a larger company or not. I don't think they are. Let's see. That's a great
Yeah,
question. I'm about to find out. Legendary Entertainment and Capcom, but distributed by Sony Pictures. We'll see. It's gonna take a lot to um, take Raul Julia's spot as Bison in the first movie. So bad that it's good. Oh,
Yeah,
decent. It's just I can't get over the fact that I like Jean-Claude Van Damme, don't get me wrong, but to put him as an American colonel,
I know.
apparently they were doing like a bunch of blow during that movie, or at least he was. He just yacked out the whole time.
Yeah, I like uh Ming Na Wen in that as Chun Li.
Oh, I didn't even know that was her. She must have been super
That's her,
young.
yeah. She is super young in that, and then right after that, she voiced Mulan. You know.
I didn't know that either. Shit.
But I like her. I really like her. She's good in the Star Wars stuff, even though Boba Fett's not the best show. She's one of the better. She's one of the redeeming parts of that show.
She was great in Shield. I got mad at her as her character, but that just means she did a great job portraying that character.
Yeah, she was great in Shield. Her and Coulson had a really good dynamic on there. I didn't get past season 3 of Shield. I feel like they kind of started drifting off when it was tighter. When they were trying to tie it to the Marvel movies, I was way more invested in the beginning.
Yeah, and it's weird because at the same time they tried to tie it too much, but then it didn't tie at all, really. If that makes I don't know, but
That's kind of what's happening with all the Disney Plus stuff right now. It's like it's just like we've touched on this multiple times now, but I just think when your universe gets too big, it gets when the entry point for the audience is too big, it just starts to feel like homework instead of entertainment. I think that's where you lose.
yeah, that's one thing that the DC world might be doing right with having the separate Matt Reeves Batman movies, which he finished his second script, by the way.
Did you see the James Gunn announcement? Like, I think that they're about to. I think they're gonna merge Matt Reeves' Batman with the fucking new DC universe.
Really?
Yes. So I think that you're gonna see Robert Pattinson's Batman with the new Super again. Up again with the new Superman.
Did you like
if
the
they do it?
Did you like the Batman?
I love the Batman.
Me too. I can't believe
Great
people
movie.
talk shit about it.
I know. I haven't finished Penguin, but I do think that the first two episodes are really good from what I've seen so far
It's
of that. But
fucking crazy.
I really liked the Batman. I really liked every time we're on a cast, I cannot think of anybody's fucking name. My brain's just like
Colin Farrell,
no, Catwoman.
Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. I thought she was. I really liked her take on Catwoman. But I'm not mad at any iteration of Catwoman before though. Like this is controversial, hot take, but I really liked Anne Hathaway as Catwoman in the last Nolan Batman movie. She looked
She's hot as fuck. I
fantastic
know,
in that leather on the back
dude.
of the motorcycle. You're like, okay.
I thought that was just the reason why, because I was just being thirsty. I was like, man, Anne Hathaway's really,
That could still be the only reason why I like it.
yeah.
But
I'm excited for Batman too. I think they're gonna go. I don't want to spoil Penguin for you, but I don't remember how much the first two episodes give away. But based off the series, all I will say is I think they might go like a Mad Hatter route, possibly.
you think so? Okay. I was kind of thinking that they were going. I haven't seen Penguin, but if they're dealing with you're dealing with the crime world a lot and like who controls Gotham and shit like that. So like I feel like you have a good opportunity to introduce the Court of Owls into the second Batman movie. Like who's actually pulling the strings of what's going on. Um,
It could. I think I don't want to spoil it too much. It's going to be so hard, but drugs are going to be involved at some point. That's all I'll say. It could be Scarecrow too. Yeah, that's a good call. Yep. What I really liked, and this is just bias, but have you noticed that the Falcone family is like part Persian? I dug that. That lady Shora Agdashlu is in a lot of different shit, like throughout comic book movies, just random movies that you wouldn't expect. That lady, I can't get past her accent. Even me, even I can't understand her sometimes.
it doesn't really bother me when I can't understand people because, like, dude, like I hate to admit it, but like we've crossed the age where it's hard for me to watch anything without subtitles now.
Same, yeah, yeah.
Dude, even just where it really helps me is just telling me what everybody's fucking name is when they're talking. I'm like, oh, that's who that is. All right, cool.
Yeah, it is easier to do that. Speaking of which, I just did that with. I went to a party for Jaws' 50th anniversary,
Oh, nice.
and I hate to admit this, but it was my first time watching the entirety of Jaws, and really helped with the subtitles. Yeah,
What did you think coming off your first watch of Jaws?
I didn't expect to enjoy it as much. It's really held up in like for being a 50-year-old movie.
Dude, it's that's 100% Spielberg.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like I feel like all of his movies, the way that he like kind of the way that he does his story beats and the way that like the emotional kind of release and the way he does everything, like I just it holds up really well. And honestly, Jaws was like the first blockbuster
Yeah.
movie that like took over a summer box
Uh-huh.
office. Like that was the blueprint for how Hollywood operates now.
You could say for better or worse, honestly, on that. But one thing I noticed that bothered me, and I'm no filmmaker at all, so my opinion probably is shit, but his cinematography sucks. Spielberg is not good. There's some scenes where like you would cut. There's like that little archway of like the top part of the mouth of Jaws or a shark, and then he's like trying to zoom in between the mouth to show the water, and it's just so poorly done. I know they had shitty cameras back then, but
Yeah, dude, you got to think like that was filmed in what 1974.
well, yeah, probably filmed in 1974 and
Probably
released in
filmed in 74
was
because it released in
released, yeah,
summer 75.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I could see that. It was his first movie.
What was the
And I do.
what was the first summer blockbuster you ever watched in the theaters? Mine was Jurassic Park, the
Mine was
OG.
definitely Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember Jurassic Park, which I would have seen Jurassic Park, and then probably Independence Day,
yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
and then I remember seeing Twister in theaters too.
yeah, me too.
And then the
Yeah,
fucking Matrix. I was like, dude, for like every summer back to back from like 95 to 99, there was like a good fucking movie in the
I
theater.
missed out on the Matrix until
You
about
didn't see the Matrix in theaters?
no. I saw it for the first time in my late 20s, and it blew my fucking mind.
Dude, yeah, the first one is amazing.
Yeah. I
I
like the
saw it in
fourth
theaters when I
one.
was like 10
The
or
f-
11, probably.
I thought the second best Matrix was the most recent one.
I agree with you on that, actually. I think that it was a. They kind of recycled the idea, but in a very, like, interesting way. Like, yeah, like that would, like, that's potentially how it would happen if you jumped forward in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One funny thing is, I'd seen the only the original Matrix up to the point, and then I heard when the fourth one was released, like through the reviews, that it mirrored the first one a lot. So I ordered Matrix on demand, and I was watching it, and I was like, dude, this is a lot like the first one. And then it keeps going, and I'm like, man, how did they put CGI on Keanu's face? About 45 minutes in, I'm like, I'm watching the original fucking Matrix again. I know. And then I ended up getting the on demand for the fourth one. It was super embarrassing. Yeah,
So funny.
in the 2000s, they shifted more towards like it went from, at least for me, it went from the blockbusters and maybe up until Iron Man came, I would say, but it became more like the comedy that would get you in.
I agree 100%. I feel like in like from like 2000 to like 2006, like I really feel like they were just like comedies were just crushing at the box office. I'm not sure when that started, but like I feel like when I feel like I know that the comedy push at the box office started before that because
Jim
you had
Carrey,
the late 90s. You had
Mike
Jim Carrey
Myers.
stuff in yeah, and then like I feel like the early 2000s switched over to like the Judd Apatow age. Like it was just like the Jim Carrey just handed everything over to Judd Apatow, and then he was just like, "Here's 40-year-old virgin, home run. Here's fucking knocked up, home run," and
Uh,
they crushed it for a few years. I feel like Netflix killed comedy movies. Like I feel like that. There's no draw. Like, well, I feel like streaming kind of killed movies in general because it's just there's no reason for people to want to go to the theaters all the time anymore. I still love the theater. Like, if you're like really into cinema, like I am, like I love the fucking theater. So like
I
I go a lot,
I
but
go
like feel like your average person who can get any movie on streaming is like 2 weeks after a fucking movie hits the theaters. Like, what's the incentive to go to the movies unless you absolutely love it?
Yeah, and I'm not a cinephile. I like popcorn flicks, ashamedly, but
I
I
like popcorn flicks too, dude. I like going to the movie theater though because I
for
also
those, yeah, totally.
I feel like it forces me to pay attention. Where at home, I'm just not paying as much attention, and I don't like movies as much when I watch them at home. But if I saw it in theaters and like I was forced to watch the whole thing, I'm like,
It is an experience, even to this day, with how loud it is, seeing it with other people. As lame as it is, their reactions make everything. I think Minecraft did a lot to bring people back in the theaters. I'm gonna go see Superman for sure, and then, well, of course, Mortal Kombat, and I probably will see the Street Fighter movie when it comes out.
yeah. I have tickets for Superman on that Saturday night after it opens, and I've got tickets for Fantastic Four on the Saturday when that opens.
Well,
And
there.
I'm probably gonna try and sneak off to go watch Jurassic Park at some point next week after that opens.
Yeah, it's opening on a Saturday.
They open on like Thursday night now, but like I don't really have times to go watch them until like Saturday night. So like
Yeah.
I try to see everything opening weekend so I don't see any spoilers
Hmm.
because the internet dude and like my algorithm like if it's anything to do with comic books or like science fiction, I will fucking see spoilers almost immediately. So
Me
I
too.
really try to see those fucking quickly.
Yeah. Speaking of things I don't want spoiled or we don't want spoiled, are you into Dexter?
Not
What?
really. Never
Oh my god. In a way, I'm jealous of you because if you do end up watching it, especially the first 4 seasons of Dexter, the original series, and then the last two that they had, the one's a prequel, and that leads up to this current series, and then one is they both spin-off series actually lead up to this. It's weird. Like one happens after the original series is over, and one happens before, but I'll leave it at that. It makes perfect sense onto what they're bringing. July 11th, I think, is going to be the release for that. So that and Stranger Things and whenever the fuck they bring Severance is what I'm excited for as far as streaming.
Bro, I hope we don't have to wait forever for the next Severance season. Like I hate to say it, but I think that might be the best show that's ever been made. Like just it's so fucking good. I
Before
can't remember the last time I felt that good about a TV show. It may have been like while The Sopranos was airing. Like
Mine was Mr. Robot. That was the last show I've been captivated by like this. But then I don't before it. I don't want to give it that title before seeing the entire thing because Breaking Bad and even Better Call Saul were so
bro,
fucking good.
dude, I think Better Call Saul is slept on. I love Better Call Saul. I love both those shows. Great fucking shows. Those are really good. I also know that like I know you're not as into fantasy. I know you're not really into fantasy the way that I am. So like I like latched on to like Game of Thrones and I love House of Dragon. So like I'm really excited for those shows for House of Dragon to come back.
Is House of Dragon a prequel or a sequel to?
It is a prequel.
Okay.
So it's like basically 200 years before the Game of Thrones timeline and you're following the Targaryen rule basically of Westeros, and it's like when the Targaryens were like the Game of Thrones, you're following Daenerys, who's like the last Targaryen, essentially at the beginning of the show before you realize that spoilers, but Jon Snow is a Targaryen.
No.
Um, oh no. So um you're following the last Targaryens and the Starks in there, but like you go back 200 years, you're still dealing with the same families. Like the Starks are still around, and so are the Lannisters and all these like different like factions, but you're under Targaryen rule.
Sounds like an Armenian last name. Like Serge Targaryen.
Serge Targaryen. The only thing I hate, the what I hate about Game of Thrones is like they make it too realistic, where it's like every dad has like a son who has the same fucking name. So you're like, how many Aegon Targaryens the fuck are there, dude? Get out of here! This is like Aegon the Sixth. I'm done.
Back then, though, with royalty and empires, they had like it would go down for like 14 years
I
or
know,
14
like how
generations.
is like what? How far did Louis get? Is Louis the 14th the last, or
Who knows? With popes, it's different. Well, Louis was a king; he wasn't pope. Um, yeah, it's an odd. I guess I would name my kid Arash Jr., AJ, JJ, Josh Jr. Huh? When do you has a woman ever? Well, I guess they've historically changed their last names, but let's say like there's a single mom who has a daughter and names her daughter after her. Would the daughter be considered a junior? Juniora? Juniora? Junior? Juniora? Juniorette?
Junior? That's more of a man thing, huh? Like just men following in those
It's
footsteps.
our ego, 100%.
I would absolutely not name another kid. I would absolutely not name a kid after me. The world does not need more Joshes. I'm good.
Yeah.
We're done. There's enough of us.
And I think there's enough Arashes too. I kind of fucked it up for all of us, so um, I want to do that to him. Any music you're excited about coming out soon?
I
With Thrice, though, I think since Visu, they've been a completely different style, and I respect that. But you're right, that it's been hit and miss.
like, dude. After V2, there's. I feel like they have some great records. Like, I love the Alchemy Index. I thought that was a great idea to be like, we're gonna make each one of these 6 songs piece of the record album. Water's really digital and trippy. Which honestly, I think they may have been like my introduction into
It's
like.
doing it again. I'm sorry.
We got
Yeah, that sounds so clean. Cool. Apparently, Thrice doesn't want us talking about them.
I'm always curious about your musical background. Like, where did your musical journey start when we were kids? Being a when did your parents come to America?
My dad was mid 60s, and then my mom was late
Mid '60s.
70s. Yeah.
Okay, I kind of always just assumed that maybe they came over around '79 when the during the revolution.
Yeah, that was my mom's case, but my dad came like because back then I guess it was like British Petroleum who had the oil fields there, and they had some sort of scholarship for employees' kids to either go to the UK or the US, and he followed his older brother to Long Beach. And then my dad, he was into Bad Company, oddly enough. But both my parents really listened to shit like the oldies, like the Beatles, the even older than that with like Sinatra, Dean Martin, especially that type of era of music. So it was always K Earth 101 in LA, which is the oldie station. And then this is embarrassing. I thought I was a hip hop head when I was younger. And I had like the Will Smith album.
Bro, dude, I love that album. I had that album when I was a kid too.
I ordered it from did you have Scholastic Book Club when you were a kid?
I have, yeah, we definitely had
I ordered
Scholastic
it
Book
through
Club.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
uh, my mom had that CD. We had that CD at the house. My mom really liked that.
And then I really wasn't into music for the longest time. I got into sports when I was a kid. And then, yeah, I would watch ESPN instead of cartoons. And then I kept hearing about I got into skateboarding. That's what happened. And then one of the best skaters at my school, I asked him about Metallica for some reason because I think I was like talking shit, thinking they were like an Aerosmith type band or some like British rock band that didn't sound hard. And then he before that, let me backtrack. I heard Limp Bizkit and I was like, this guy's fucking dope. And then I heard Korn and I was like, yeah, these guys are angry. I like it. And then I thought Metallica wasn't. They were like a Led Zeppelin or something. And at that time, I wanted heavy guitars, something to bang my head to. And then he recorded Wherever I May Roam, Enter Sandman, Fuel, and Memory Remains and Sad But True on a cassette. And I have that cassette still to this day. And I heard the first song was Wherever I May Roam. I was like, what the fuck? And I fell in love. I got into guitar from there. And then I even listened to shit like Blink 182, which I think Enema of the State, maybe other than American Idiot, might be the best produced pop punk album of all time. Um, and so from then on, it was just like metal and punk, mainstream for a while, and then I got into like more obscure shit. Got into like the European symphonic metal because of S&M, and so yeah, from that point on, I just got into weird shit within those genres.